Hey you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to install a pre-filter system for my household water. This is what I'm gonna install right here. Pre-filter system made by Watelo. This is a new system that they came out, which is you don't have to replace the filter inside. It's basically, it's kind of like a lifetime filter. What it is filter all the sediment from the water that's coming into your house, and once it gets dirty, you can do an auto flush on it, or you can just do a manual flush, and then it'll flush out all the sediment into the drain port. So in the long run, you save a lot of money because you don't have to keep buying the filter for your pre-filter system. So it's kind of like Canadian air filter for your car. You just buy it one time, and once it gets dirty, you clean it out and reuse it again. So it's kind of like that. But this one is for the household, but Canadian is for the car. So like I said, in the long run, you save a lot of money instead of keep buying the paper filter for your car or for your sediment. This one I would consider as a permanent filter that you can just keep cleaning it once it get dirty, and just keep cleaning it. So alright, let's check it out. What's included in the box. Alright, this is the unit. Alright, this one got a pressure gauge right there. This one got a little knob that you can increase the pressure on it. And it comes with digital. That one that you can set the timer on it to do an auto flush, or just do a manual flush on it. Looks pretty nice. Good color too. I love the orange. By the way, I used to have an orange bike, and then I crashed it because it was a hit and run. They clipped my front tire and I went down. So my bike used to be orange. If you follow me on YouTube, you'll know. So anyways, okay, it comes with the two fittings right there. Now I want to inform you that this thread is not the NPT thread, which is National Pipe Thread. It's not. It's a BSP, which is British Standard Pipe. So the thread is a little different, and you cannot use NPT thread to try to mount this on. It's totally different. You have to get the adapter for it, which is you can easily find those adapters from Amazon or eBay. It's up to you. So just to let you know that it's a BSP, British Standard Pipe Thread. This one also the same thing, and you need the adapter for it, from BSP thread to NPT thread, which is National Pipe Thread, the one that we use over here in US. And it comes with the mount, the wall mount right there. Pretty simple. And it comes with the power cord, the one that you plug it into your unit right there in the back, and plug it in. So you can use the digital meter on this one. It'll have the option that it can count, I guess, how many gallons going through, and then set up the auto flush or do a manual flush on it. Alright, if you notice, this is my current setup right now, which is this one. It's also a sediment filter. It's a pre-filter unit. I filter the sediment out before the water going into the water heater, and also another pre-filter right here. That's the main cold water. So it's gonna filter out from right there from the main pipe before going to the house, and then you're gonna go inside here, pre-sediment filter, before it going into my water softener system. And after the water softener system, then you'll send it out throughout the house. Right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm still going to reuse this unit right here, but I am going to install this one as well. This is gonna be my main unit, and this one's gonna be my secondary unit. So the primary unit right there is gonna filter the first stage of sediment before any water getting into the water heater. And this is gonna be the backup, aka secondary unit. So it's gonna filter out even more sediment before it's going to my water heater. Alright, now it's time to do the installation. First of all, what I need to do is I need to shut off the main water going to the water heater. If you see right here, there's a little shut off valve right there. That's the main cold water going into the water heater. So I gotta shut that one off. Also, I gotta shut this one off too. There's another main valve for the cold water. Shut this one off, so there would be no water going into the sediment filter and into the water softener tank. And I'm also gonna shut off this valve right here too, the valve from the water going out, and this valve right here from the water going in, and also another valve. So basically I'm doing a triple protection, or whatever you call it, you know. That's what I'm gonna do. And another thing I'm gonna show you is up in the attic. If you notice, that's the main water pipe coming from the city. And I installed this valve right there. That's the primary valve, shut off valve. I installed these on my previous video that I had on how to install the AquaShore water softener system. And I also installed the secondary main valve right there, if you can see right there. So basically, if you don't want any water going into my house at all, I can shut off that main valve right there. I don't have to go outside and turn off the main water by the sidewalk. So I can just turn off that right there, and there will be no water coming into the house. And if you look right here, the secondary valve, I installed that one on purpose. If I have to do something with the water softener or the water heater, I can just turn that valve on. Turn that right now it's off, right? When it's off, that means the water going into this route right here. Go all the way down. See that pipe right there? It goes down into my water softener system, and it comes back up there, all the way out there to feed my water heater and going into the house. See what I'm talking about? Right there. Because right now it shuts off, so there's no water backflowing into this line, so it just goes straight right there. And after it gets treated, and then it comes up here and feed the water throughout the house. So what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna turn on that valve right there. So once I turn on that valve, the water will not be treated. It's just straight through from the city. Right now my wife is washing some clothes right now. She's using cold water, so I need to turn on that valve right there and turn off all the valves from the water softener system. Alright, right now the water heater is running. You can hear that compressor going on right now. So I'm gonna shut the power off because I'm gonna drain the water out from the water heater, because I need to clear out this line right here, the water from going into the water heater right there and going out. Alright, water heater furnace number 2, number 5 and 7. Now you come over here and look. Okay, right there. 5 and 7. So I'm going to shut that one off. Now you hear that? The compressor shut off. So there's no power going into my water heater now. Alright, now there'll be no more water coming into the water heater or going out. Alright, I'm gonna shut off this cold water line, preventing from cold water going into the water softener. Right there. Shut this one off. Shut this one off from preventing the water from going out from the water softener. I'm gonna shut this one off also, just to be safe. Another one right there too, just to be safe also. Alright, now let's go back upstairs to the attic. Okay, since I shut off all the valves downstairs, now I'm gonna turn this valve on, so there'll be cold water running into the house. Alright, now if there's people inside the house, they can use cold water while I'm working on installing the pre-filter. Now what I need to do next is to drain the water out inside this water heater. So I have to drain it out to the street. Don't use the water inside the water heater to water your grass. It would kill the grass because the water inside there is super hot, 140 degrees Fahrenheit. What I have to do is connect the garden hose right here and turn on the valve and drain it out. Let's connect the hose. Get you a flathead screwdriver, turn on the valve to drain it out. You need to release the pressure so the water would drain all the way out from inside of the water heater. There you go. Draining out onto the street and go into the city drain right there. Alright, looks like it's done. Go ahead and shut this valve off. Remove the hose. Alright, I'm gonna remove this drain hose right here from the water softener. Take it out. I'm going to cut this pipe right here, and I'm gonna cut this pipe right there. There's water from coming in, and this one's water going out into the water heater. Alright, this is the tools I am going to use to install that pre-sediment filter, which is this right here, PEX clamp. This one for the 1-inch pipe cutter, couple of crescent wrenches, Teflon tape, and this one is for cutting those ring on the PEX pipe. And this one is the one from Amazon. Is an adapter from a BSP thread, British Standard Pipe, to NPT National Pipe Thread, which is for the US. This one's the same thing. This one is for the drain port. So this one is BSP and PT right there. Can use that 90 degrees angle right there. Adapter right there from Shark Bite, 3/4 by 3/4. NPT pipe. Little T right there. This for the drain port, for the drain pipe. 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch. This one is going to be for the drain port. Because I have to modify a little bit, I couldn't find a fitting for it, so I'm going to do just a little bit differently from the standard. This one also 90 degree angle from Shark Bite, 1 inch by 1 inch. Alright, let's get started. I'm gonna put a little bucket down here just in case there any water left inside there, and gonna start cutting. A little bit, not bad, not bad. The good thing about using PEX is that you don't need to use any glue or any pipe thread at all. All you have to use is just the clamp and the pipe, and it's flexible too. It's very durable, better than PVC pipe, because PVC pipe after a while is so fragile you can just literally can break it off, but this one is very flexible, so that's why I use the PEX pipe. Alright, now I gotta cut that pipe right there, so I can't get the bucket inside there, so I'm gonna use a little plastic bag. There we go. Alright, not bad at all. Not that much water inside there. Now I need to remove this unit right here. I'm gonna relocate it to somewhere right here along the wall. Now I'm gonna put a little 2x4 or 2x6 right here to create a little mount for the 2 unit that I'm gonna install. So now I gotta find the stud, make sure where's the studs behind this wall right here. Alright, I was able to find a piece of 2x6. I cut it up about 20 inches long, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna pre-drill the screw holes and put it right there. And now I'm gonna pre-drill 2 holes right here for the mounting bracket for my old unit. Alright, looks pretty good right there. Pre-drill the hole for the other mount. Alright, this mount is done, and this mount too. Now let's try to put it on and see what happens. Looks pretty good right there. Now I'm just trying this out first before I start doing the pipe. Almost there, getting close to getting finished. Alright, now I'm gonna connect the connector. Gonna use this right here. I'm gonna put a little Teflon tape on there. Tight this down, right there, just like so. And on the other side as well. After that, I'm gonna put a little adapter, which is 3/4 by 3/4 NPT adapter on there, so I can hook up the water line. Alright, this is what I did. I wrapped these with Teflon tape about 3 or 4 laps. Same thing on this side. Now I gotta put the adapter on there and tighten it up real good, like that. Tighten this up. Now both adapters are on. This one converted from BSP to NPT. Now I'm gonna put the adapter on there for the PEX, which is this one right here, 3/4 by 3/4 NPT. Now you want to put a little bit of Teflon tape around this thread right here, both of them, before you put this adapter on there from the NPT thread to PEX. There you go, right there, Teflon tape. Put this adapter on. Alright, this one is nice and tight. Looks good right there. See this little knob right here? This one go in the slot. Just like so. And just hang right there. Won't go nowhere. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna cut this right here and put a 90-degree angle this way and connect it to this one right here. After you crimp the ring, make sure you use the gauge, go, no go gauge. That one is go, that one is no go. So don't forget that. Now the fun part, you need to remove the old crimp right here. What I'm gonna use is this crimp removal tool. It's right here for your adjustment. See how deep you want to cut it. See if there's a little knob right here. You want to open it up, add more. You'll go down even deeper. So it can cut a thicker crimp. Make adjustment on that. See, this one is pretty deep right there. Or open up a little bit more. And then what you have to do is stick this tool in there, just like so, and then cut it. You heard it pop. Now do it on the other side, on the bottom. There you go. I cut only one side and kind of push it down. Try to cut it on the other side, but I didn't go all the way through. Once it opened up, you can remove the crimp ring. Get a pair of pliers. Pull this one out. If it doesn't come out, go ahead and use this one right here to cut through the pipe. There you go. And do the same thing on this side, because I'm gonna reuse this 90-degree angle right here. You can also use this crimp removal tool to cut through the pipe as well. It won't go all the way through because there's a adjustment on it, the gap that it won't let you cut all the way through, because if you cut all the way through you can damage the part. So this is probably gonna be the best way to do it. Use this crimp removal tool, just cut all the way through the pipe to split it open. Once it's open, you can use a pair of pliers and just pull it out. Yep, a lot easier. Now you see what I did? Right there, I connect this right here to this port in for another filter. It's the sediment filter, and after it fills out, goes out the other way, comes down, turn around, and go into the water heater. there. Goes in there. That's where the hot water comes out. By the way, this water heater is a hybrid water heater. It's not like traditional water heater that the water goes on the top and comes out from the top also, but this one, the cold water goes in from the bottom and comes out from the top and go into the house. It's a little hybrid water heater which is use only $104 per year. It's energy efficient. So now what I'm gonna do next is the drain pipe. I'm gonna cut it just a little bit shorter and add the T right here from the bottom and tee it out and add another pipe up here. And this one I'm gonna use it for the drain pipe for this unit right here, and another pipe right next to it. It's gonna use it to drain the water softener. Since this one's already had a tube, I just have to create another pipe right next to this one because I can't use the same pipe. This one is only 1 inch and it's only gonna fit one hose right here. So that's why I'm gonna create another pipe right here for the drain port for the water softener, and this is gonna be the drain port for the sediment filter. This one's for the drain port. You really don't have to do this. What you can do, you can use a bucket underneath there or stick a little flexible hose down there. That'll be fine too, but I like to make it nice and neat. Now I'm using another adapter to convert the thread into this little nipple right here, so I can put in a 1/2 inch. This one is only 1/2 inch tube. I can find the one that turned into a 1 inch. It's only 1/2 inch. Let's go ahead and cut this one out. And add a T on there. There we go. Then we're gonna connect the pipe right here. Use a 90-degree connector. Shoot all the way up. Now you see what I'm talking about? This right here. What I did was make this half inch pipe for the drain pipe. Put it in there and connect to this part right here. See? So basically I'm using the same method as the drain hose for the water softener, but instead of use a flexible hose, I use the PEX instead because that's all I got right here. It's leftover from my last project, so that's what I'm using. Try to repurpose it. So right there, I cut this 1/2 inch PEX right here. I cut it about 12 inches long, so it can go all the way down. Not all the way down, but at least go deep enough so when it releases the water will go down there. And this one I tee it off and use a 90 degrees and go all the way up here. And this when I'm going to put the drain hose of the water softener down here. Now I'm gonna put this drain hose from the water softener and thread it down all the way down here to this drain pipe right here. There you go, all completed. So there's one left. I haven't plugged it in yet, so I'm gonna leave that unplugged for now. But for right now, the main thing is to turn on the water and make sure all the fittings are not leaking water. Alright, I'm gonna shut off this valve right here, the untreated water that's going to the house right now. So I'm gonna shut it off. Now I gotta turn on this secondary valve for the water to go into the water softener. Now turn on this valve to let the water goes into the water softener. Okay, now gotta turn on this valve, let the water come out from the water softener. And now this one right here to let the water out from the water softener and go into the house. Alright, one last valve I need to open to let the water come out. Alright, slowly. Alright, the water turned on. You can see that right there. The water is going through. The water is going through this right here. Go to this filter, the secondary sediment filter. Go down there and goes into the water heater. Right there. Let's check if there's any leak. Looks dry. Okay. Looks good. That's dry. No dripping water. Now it's time to plug this in. Now it's in service. Let's do a manual flush. Got a little water leaking there. So, and one other thing I would highly recommend it. If you see right here, this pipe is a little small. It's 1/2 inch. I would in the future upgrade this to a bigger pipe, to a bigger piping. Might be going to 3/4 or to a 1 inch. So that way when you flush it out, so you won't have the water back flowing all the way up here to the rim. So because when you flush this, basically it just release high pressure water all the way down, all the way down here. So if you don't have big enough pipe, it'll cause the water to backflow all the way back up here. So just to let you know that right now it's just a temporary installation for this one right here because I couldn't find the parts. But in the future, I would replace this with a bigger pipe, 3/4 or 1 inch. I would prefer 1 inch because when it drain out, you'll drain all the way out to the outside. As you can see right here, I drill a hole from the other side all the way out, and I knock some cement out before I start drilling, and I stick a pipe outside, and this one I'm gonna use it for a drain port for the pre-filter. Alright, now I'm gonna connect 90-degree angle. Let go down like that, so the water would drop down instead of gushing straight out. Looks good right there. And once everything is done, I'm gonna patch this hole up with a cement or a silicone. Either way, so no bugs would get inside your house. This is the one that I took off. This one is 1/2 inch. And I was able to find some connector on Amazon, which is 1 inch reduced to half an inch. I guess I got lucky. At first I wasn't sure, so I couldn't find it. Now I finally found it. It's 1 inch reduced to half an inch. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna connect this right here. I'm going to use this right here, Shark Bite 1 inch by 1 inch FNPT female adapter. So I'm gonna connect this together and then connect my PEX pipe and clamp it down. So basically it's 1 inch reduced to half an inch. So this should be able to keep up with the flow while you drain. Okay, you see this right here? This one is a half an inch, and I found this on Amazon. It's a one inch reduced to half an inch. So I connect this together, and this one is Shark Bite female. Connect that together and connect the PEX, 1 inch PEX from right there. Clamp it down all the way down to the bottom. And I use a 90-degree right here. Clamp these down and shoot the pipe straight through the wall to the outside. Alright, now I'm gonna plug it in and test the drain port out. See if there's gonna be any water leak or backflow coming back out from this port right here. Like earlier, the one that I used half-inch pipe and then angle it out and went into this tube right here. Remember earlier? And when you push the flush right here, the water kind of backflowing and coming out from this connector right here. So basically it could not keep up because the pipe was too small. That's why the water flowing backward and coming back out start dripping right here. So now I increased from half an inch to 1 inch. So that should be able to keep up with the drainage, because when it drains it has a lot of pressure on it. And also I want to let you guys know that the knob, this one you can turn the pressure up or down, but you cannot increase the pressure on it. Well, it's a little bit different, but this one, if you have a water pressure really high, like above 120 psi, this right here you can reduce the pressure, drop the pressure down to like 80, between 80 and 90 psi, but you cannot raise it up unless the input of the water pressure is higher, over 120 psi. Then you can use this one to regulate the pressure, kind of like air compressor, like that right there. So it's kind of like this right here. You want to increase the pressure, you turn it clockwise to turn up the pressure, turn up the psi. If you want to reduce the psi, you turn it counterclockwise. Basically it's the same principle. Like I say, if the input water pressure is really high, you don't want it to be above 90 psi. If you do have a high water pressure above 90 psi, you can adjust this, turn counterclockwise, and it'll reduce the pressure of the water. You don't want high water pressure going inside your house, because you can break a lot of pipes because the pressure is too high. Alright, let's see if there's gonna be any leak during the flush. Here we go. Push one time. Not bad. No leak. No leak there. That looks pretty good inside. Now let's go look from the outside. Alright. There's a lot of water coming out during the flush. That was the flush of the pre-filter. Now if you notice, it says 999 H, that's hours. You can preset that to let it auto flush every certain hours, and then it's going to automatically flush it out for 15 seconds. Like when you push the manual flush, you'll have it's preset at 15 seconds. So we're gonna flush it out for 15 seconds. But this one is the hours that you can set. You can set for it to do auto flush every 24 hours or whatever hours that you want. This one is preset at 999 hours, which is 41 days and 15 hours. So it's up to you. It's up to your reference or whatever you feels like. You can let it flush once every, I don't know, every 7 days or every month or whatever. But it can go up to like 41 days and 15 hours. So you just set whatever you feel like it, or you can set it, let it flush once every week or once every 2 weeks. It's up to you. So for right now, I'm gonna set it up to let it flush once a week. The more flush you do, the better, because you'll get rid of all that sediment. That's my opinion. So it's up to you. There's no set point for you to set, or you can just leave it at 999 hours, which is 41 days and 15 hours. That's fine. Basically just flush it once a month. That's fine too. But as for right now, I'm gonna set it to let it flush once every week. So 1 week we have 168 hours. So that's why I'm gonna set it up. So how you set this up? So what you do is to hold both buttons down, hold it down until one of the number blink. See right there? And then you just hit the set button to move the number from left to right. And this flush button right here to move up and down. So I'm gonna set it at 168 hours, which is 7 days. So you just keep pushing it. 1. Push the set button right here to move to the next digit. 6. I'm gonna move this one to the right to the next digit. Change it to 8. Once you're done, you have to hold down both buttons until the numbers stop blinking. See right there. It's gonna do an auto flush, which is, flush out all the sediment down. It's gonna start counting down every hour. Next hour is gonna be 167. So once it hits 0, it's gonna do an auto flush. Release the waste down to the drain port. So basically that's automatic maintenance right there, because constantly flush the sediment out, flush all that dirty sediment that's inside of here, inside this little coil here. You'll flush it out and then it will be good as new. So basically I call that a permanent filter, because you don't have to keep replacing the filter like this one right here. This one, once it gets dirty, you gotta replace it. But this one, I'm okay with that because I got tons of this filter in here. I bought a bunch of them from Amazon, which is dirt cheap, but it still costs money. But I don't want to just get rid of the unit and don't use the filter for it. And as a secondary filter, it'll help filter the water a lot cleaner, because I got one unit right here, cleans the majority of it, and whatever left over or could not get filter, it'll come right here to a secondary filter and filter it out some more. So basically the water is gonna be super clean. Alright you guys, I hope this video will help you or teach you how to install this unit right here, pre-filter. Word of the wisdom, don't think too hard, because this pipe right here is flexible. Just go beyond your imagination. Whatever you think you can create. Look at my creation right here. It looks weird, but it worked. Or you can redesign, how to thread the pipe, whatever you want. But right now, this setup right here, it works good with my water heater right here, and my water softener system. So this one worked just fine. And I think that should be it right here. That one's the main unit, pre-filter for the sediment. This is a secondary filter. And this one is the main unit, which is primary sediment filter for the water softener system. Alright, that's it you guys. I hope this video helped you guys on how to install the pre-sediment filter right here. And just, you know, I just want you guys to know that just be creative. I mean, there's no right or wrong. It's your house. You do whatever you want to. I mean, you can thread the whole pipe all the way around the house. It's up to you. If you have the skills to do it, go ahead and do it. But it'll cost a lot of money though. This right here is a cost saving. And you don't use a lot of pipe. It might be some mistake here and there, but you know, it's normal. Anyways, sometimes you cut the wrong pipe or connected the wrong one. That's fine. But anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching.